It's time for me to tell the truth. Although, honestly, I haven't been lying about a single thing. Perhaps more accurately, it's time for me to come clean. From the outset, I just wanted this to be a little channel about flying drones, exploring new tech, and making videos. At the time, drone technology was rapidly improving, and it was really exciting. And there's all sorts of neat tech coming out, and the tech behind making videos was getting better and better and better. And I felt like I had something to share. I had been producing videos for my church since 2002, and they always say that you should write what you know, but I guess in this case it's more of a you should video what you know. And it's been fun. I mean, I have not been a driven content creator that wanted to put out something every single day or two. I see a lot of videos like that, videos just to get them up there, and I've labeled them as Seinfeld videos, videos about nothing. They're just space fillers. And I felt there needed to be a higher bar of quality than that, but really, there doesn't need to be. I just wasn't that engaged in the subject that I wanted to spend that much time doing it. In addition, there are 1,000 more channels out there about flying drones and making videos, and my ideas were not so elevated that I could rise above the pack. So I started to become a little jaded, a little bored, a little distanced. My videos became very spaced out. And I think their quality was above average, but making that quality above average does take time. And I wasn't willing to take that much time for something I wasn't that much into. So before I step into it, and I do mean it, let me say that I still love flying drones and creating video. And I even have a limited liability company that specializes in doing just that. And I'll still make some of those videos. But then something happened. I realized I wasn't being true to myself. My thoughts and my experiences run much deeper than what I was doing. And that was part of why I became bored. There are two things in my life that are more important than drones and more important than making video, and I was sidestepping them like you would a rattlesnake. I've always steered clear of religion and politics in my videos because those are the two things that are third rails as far as the social media goes. And people weren't coming to my channel to hear my thoughts on God or on the Russian conspiracy. And I would occasionally mention that I go to church or that I was working on something for my church, but that was as deep as it would go. But why? And it was simple, really. As soon as you introduce religion or politics into the mix, you invite discussion, both friendly and not so friendly. And of the two poisons, politics is the most toxic. If you don't promote the right flavor of politics, you can get demonetized or deplatformed, and you see it happening every day, especially on YouTube. However, when I have mentioned in the past something about my faith, I have always gotten positive feedback, never negative. I think most of my viewers are from parts of the country that still understand the need for God in our lives, and I think many of them would hold similar political views, but of course not all of them. And I know that focusing more on the two things outside of my family that really drive me may likely lose me viewers. I tend to be a relatively passive individual. I get along with people because I encourage them, I listen to them, and I genuinely like them. Actively fronting my political and religious views on this channel won't be passive. When you espouse beliefs that many people don't identify with, you invite vigorous discussion, to put it mildly. We are such a polarized society. We have come to be such a polarized society when it comes to politics. Hateful rhetoric abounds and dissent is not tolerated in most cases. Religion, at least the religion of Christians, is becoming more and more an underground practice as schools and local and national governments define it as a form of hate speech. They define it as a form of hate speech that must be suppressed. So it's time for me to be less passive. I am going to deliver commentary in video form. I am not a journalist. I will, however, give you my honest opinions. That's the best I can do. My thoughts dwell on the world of politics on a consistent basis. I read and watch the news daily, and I subscribe to many YouTube channels that I trust at some point I'll give you a list of those channels. For the large part, most of the individuals out there that call themselves journalists are anything but journalists. They are highly partisan in their reporting, and they deliver the company line that they got in their morning brief. And you know what? That is absolutely fine. Just don't try to dress it up as nonpartisan reporting. This is the time for you to either hit the subscribe button or unsubscribe from the channel if you feel I'm letting you down. If you want easy to digest content, there's a lot of good creators out there that deserve your attention. If you want to think a bit, discuss a bit, maybe even get outraged a bit, stick around. A gentleman named Brandon Strzok created a movement called Walk Away. There are thousands of videos from ex-liberals, ex-Democrats, in which they chronicle their epiphanies that led them to walking away from the Democrat Party and embracing the conservative movement. I would encourage you to check his channel out. My next video will deal with a little of what led up to my own epiphany. And I have to be truthful here. I didn't have an illuminating moment when the light bulb went off in my head. Instead, for me, it was more like a gradual erosion or a washing away of beliefs that I had long held, but never really examined. It was a very slow change, a change that actually took decades. It was also a little different in that my family had some skin in the game, so to speak. We had a stake, points of pride that made it difficult to 180 away from. No one who watches these videos has to agree with me whatsoever. That's the beautiful part of our Constitution. I respect every point of view, even if I don't agree with it, because the Constitution gives us the right to pronounce our views freely, and it expects us to allow others to do the same. Now, quick diversion here as it relates to the Constitution and what I just said. I am also a huge supporter of the Second Amendment, the right to own and the right to bear arms. The original Bill of Rights coalesces around this amendment, as other amendments like the First and the Fourth wouldn't have any true power and authority without the Second. In every country, in every single time in history where people were told what they must think, what they must say, where their property was freely seized by the government, where people with dissenting views were sent to camps or executed, it started with taking away their means of defense. But that's for another day and for another video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do you have your own story that you'd like to share? Any comments? Please keep a civility to your responses. I know some trolls will be what they're bred to be, but please ignore them, because without replies, their nonsense dies from a lack of oxygen. I do work full-time as a family nurse practitioner, so I won't always have time to respond to your comments, but I will do what I can. If you would, please like the video, if you did, and sub for future content, and ring that bell so you'll know when it comes out. And please, most of all, share if you feel others might be interested. I have a lot of other videos on this channel that you can go watch if you want to, and they'll give you an idea of what I was talking about when I said this started out as a drone and video production channel. I'll be making a lot of those private, so check them out soon. I'll see you later, and thank you so much for watching this video.